All right, so this is a little bit different. I am just about to start a new book, and I'm really excited for it because I'm also trying to do something that I've done before, but it's always sort of hit or miss whether I'll actually succeed. And that is that I am trying to write a book in about a week. And you might hear that and say, "What? Why would you do that?" And the reason is because that for my creative process, I found that writing really intensely and writing as much as possible typically produces a better product for me. And so um, I want to sort of honor my own creative process. And so, with that in mind, I'm trying to compress the time I spend writing uh, each project. I'm doing my plotting right now. You can see back there. Maybe you can't. I haven't actually done any plotting quite yet. So what I'm doing right now is um, I am starting to write a bunch of sort of my plot list. So how I start is pretty straightforward. What I do is I get everything that I can remember that I need to pay attention to as I am going through this story down on paper. I just brain dump 100% of the things that I need to remember for the story. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to organize them and make sure that they make sense, make sure that I'm um, seeding for future plot lines, that I'm wrapping up plot lines that I started and never closed in the previous book. This is a book 2, by the way, so that influences sort of what I'm doing. If this were a book 1, it would just be a brain dump of all of the things that I want to achieve with the book. But in this case, it's everything that I know I have to pay attention to, plus everything that I want to achieve with this book. I get a lot of questions about my process because it is kind of unique. So we're going to try to write a book in a week, 120,000 words approximately. My goal is 6 days of actual drafting time. So one of the things about the first day of writing a novel for me is that it's a planning day. So I'm not actually doing any drafting. I'm not putting words down on the page because anytime I rush into doing that, anytime I rush into writing, I tend to run out of steam really quick. Instead, what I'm doing is giving myself enough time to mull over my plot, to think through the various things I want to achieve with the book, and it's also an excuse to come and sit outside because it is just an absolutely gorgeous day, and so I'm sitting outside with the dog, enjoying this beautiful day. And as I do that, I don't know if you can see this here. I'm starting to refine what it is I'm actually going to be writing. So, as I mentioned earlier, I start my plotting process with just a brain dump of everything that I want to do, everything that I want to achieve, and everything that I want to make sure I have sort of sorted from the previous book and from future books. And then what I do is I further refine that into what I call a general flow, right? I write notes about any sort of world building stuff that I need to pay attention to. But then using this brain dump, I write a general flow. And that's usually 15 to 20 sort of major scenes or major collections of scenes. And then I identify how many chapters I'm going to put in each one roughly. Now, this is not a hard and fast thing. This is more just to give me a roadmap to where I'm going. And what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to take it downstairs again after I'm done enjoying the beautiful weather. I'm going to take it downstairs, and I'm going to start laying out my actual plot. I'm going to take each of these general flow scenes, and then I'll break it down further into the specific chapters and the scenes inside of those chapters that I'm going to be writing. Now, again, I'm not a strict plotter in that I don't worry too much about writing or like sticking to my plot as I write. This is really, again, just to give me a roadmap of what I'm doing and where I'm going with this story. But before I do anything else, there's one very important thing I have to do, which is go pet my dog.